With the new DLC coming, let's talk about better park building. Hello and welcome back to Tricolor Gaming with me, Fletcher, and today I'm going to be giving you 10 tips to improve your park building in both campaign and in DLC. Let me know in the comments which of these tips you found most useful, and if you're new here, subscribe for more content from all of us at Tricolor Gaming. Right, let's get straight into the tips. Tip number 1 is to avoid spaghetti paths. One of my pet peeves with park designs is the tendency for players to join buildings to paths in the quickest, most basic way possible. This results in an ugly park and makes your park also look very haphazard. Solving this is simple. Put care into your pathwork. Use lovely thick paths, and I don't mean the thickest type of path, I mean create thicker routes by doubling up on thicknesses. Use different colours of path to fill in gaps or lines in the middle to add decorative flair. Use clearly defined angles and shapes. Curve paths around hills and follow contours. It might waste a little space, but it will make your parks look so much nicer. Tip number 2 is extremely simple. When starting parks, always try to make sure you build on a snap angle. That is, make sure your first building is on an angle snap when placed down. This will allow you to more easily orientate every other structure and item you place down, again helping to make the park look less haphazard and actually designed. For tip 3 and 4, we head to the amenity buildings. Tip 3 is to make sure that every amenity is set up to make as much money as possible. This is especially important in campaign mode. Do not apply amenity options until your park is more full of guests, and then make sure you're applying the options that make the most money for you. As soon as you're able, you should research the larger amenities as they will help you reach 5 stars as quickly as possible. Tip 4 is more of a sandbox and design tip. Don't forget to modify and use your amenities to enhance the decorative aspects of your parks. Create a colour palette for use in your parks, and use particular decorative aspects to improve your guest zones. Use particular roofing pieces next to enclosures to give guests a great view. You can also theme areas of your park by modifying the style of your amenities. Tip 5 makes use of all these first 4 tips. Create open plazas and guest areas to improve the decorative nature of the park. They can be as simple or as complicated as you like, but a good guest plaza will help break up the park, help play it out, and prevent your parks looking like a mess of enclosures, path, and random buildings. Use plazas as hubs for amenities and attractions. Make seating areas and use decorations to improve them, and don't forget to add lighting for further decoration. The next tips concern your animals, from the small to the big. Number 6. Don't randomize your dinosaur skins. Use them with a purpose. There's a few different ways you can do this. One way is to use skins that match the surrounding environment. Building a park in the desert? Use yellows, greys, oranges and reds. Maybe you have a more green park, so use more green and dark brown skins. You can take inspiration from real life animals too. Create your own versions of tigers, secretary birds or elephants using the skin system. One final thing I love to do is to create male and female variations of skins to allow some form of self-imposed sexual dimorphism. You could even use dinosaurs with multiple model types such as the T-Rex, Ouranosaurus, Kentrosaurus and Brachiosaurus to further enhance that sexual dimorphism. Tip 7. Never build flat parks. Firstly, they are terribly boring to look at, but more, they look exceedingly fake. The natural environment is not 100% flat, and adding height differences can really help make the separate areas of your park unique. You can also use height differences to create stunning vistas. Sink enclosures below path level to let guests look over the fences. Sink paths down low to create forest covered pathways. Get creative with terrain. Create large hills or mountains as environmental features for your park. Tip 8. Try to think about realism in your parks. These animals are mighty dangerous, so try to make your parks realistic. There are lots of ways that you can do this. Double layered fencing for carnivores certainly makes their paddocks stand out. Set your fencing away from paths to prevent your guests being shocked. Add security cameras for that added safety around your most dangerous animals. Use natural walls, water, and more to contain animals. Use the right sort of tour vehicle for the right sorts of animals. Thinking about realism can really help make your parks unique. Tip number 9. Remember that your parks are about more than just your animals, your fencing, and your amenities. All parks and zoos feature areas for guests, unique little oddities. You can create these for your own parks. Create zip lines through forestry for younger guests to enjoy. Use towers and galleries as observation areas for beauty points. Use the tents and such in the decorations menu to create mock campsites. Create nice seating areas and hidden forest paths just for fun. Don't cover your whole park in enclosures and paths and concrete. And my final tip, number 10, and this is something that comes from one of my other interests, which is model railways. Create imaginary moments, events, little things in the background to give your parks a little life. Maybe there's an area under construction. Perhaps you have a veterinary area and a dinosaurs in isolation. Perhaps your park is celebrating an event, so you give it special lighting. Come up with little details that tell different stories in your park, the average day to day. And as a bonus tip related to my previous suggestion, try to come up with a story for your park. We might only have 3 tropical maps, but those could easily stand in for the other locations in the 5 deaths. Pretend one is a different island, or create your own map inside the confines of a bigger map. Give your park a story. Maybe it's an abandoned park, a secret facility, a park for carnivore hunters, perhaps a park aimed only at children. Create a story with your park. So that's it, 10 tips to create better parks. Let me know in the comments which of these ideas you found most helpful and will be using in the future. Don't forget to throw the video a like and subscribe if you're new here for more content from all of us at Triclaw Gaming. Until next time, stay safe and goodbye.